Hello everyone, and welcome to another G1 Transformers review. As you can see, I've been inspired a little bit by my recent bootfair find of a G2 firecon, and I thought I would do the G1 firecons as a little set. I'll run through their names. You've got cindersaur, which is the purple one, and you've got flamefeather and sparkstalker. Now, none of these figures are greatly rare. They're quite sort of common to sort of find if you're looking on eBay, places like that. They don't go for a lot of money, and they are a very basic figure. They were just a little gimmicky sort of side offshoot of the G1 line. Obviously they were the opposite numbers to the Autobot Sparkbots. I think that was the name of the series for the Autobots. But these were called firecons. Now they did make a bit of a dramatic entrance in the G1 comic, I seem to remember, in the UK, sort of running up the beach and attacking some Autobots. Yeah, they're an odd little bunch, to be quite honest. They all have the same gimmick, which I'll show you on one of them. First of all, you need to sort of like take them out of their sort of more monster sort of pose. Sort of just flatten them out a little bit, bring your heads up and the arms forward so that they're almost like laying down. And you'll notice there's a wheel underneath. Now if you push it along, it's a friction motor, so it's going to make a little bit of a noise. And if you look in their mouths, you're going to see hopefully some sparks come out. No, cindersaur's not working too well. They do have a habit over time that the features do give up the ghost. Let's try flamefeather. I think you get the sort of general idea there. So. There we go, it sort of just about works. It's basically the sort of mechanism in most cigarette lighters, basically, just with a friction motor included into the sort of package. I'll give you a quick sort of 360 of the actual individual bots. That's cindersaur first. Yeah, let's be honest, that's not the most convincing monster mode. Obviously, because he's a G1, you get the normal G1 Decepticon sticker, and they always have them down there in the leg. For transformation, they're all the same, but I will sort of show you as I do these sort of little individual close-ups. Basically speaking, you just straighten the legs out as though it was going to run along the ground with the spark mode. Release the tail, which is just sort of pegged into the back in that small hole. Swing it up to the back and it becomes a bit of kibble. Swing the head down out of the way and then turn it forwards like so, and then the last part of the transformation is just swing his side bits around to become his arms from his, well, effectively from the monster's back, and that's the transformation done. Now let's be honest, that's a terrible robot mode. Articulation wise, you've got leg articulation and that's it. So yeah, pretty rubbish really. The only real sort of like fun gimmick is their sort of monster mode with the spark ability. You didn't buy these figures for their pose ability, and to be quite honest, that's probably why these guys never made much of an impact onto the toy line or into the cartoon line. Whether they came in more in the sort of Master Force sort of line of cartoons, because they never were in the original sort of American G1 series, but yeah, they're pretty dire really. You've got to be a real G1 fan to own these guys, because I can't imagine the average modern Transformer fan really sort of wanting these. As I say, I'll do flamefeather next. Exactly the same transformation, so I'll just quickly spin it around and do that. And again, he's a little bit different. He's got wings, so sort of like a little bit bulkier. But again, they're just on effectively on the sides of his arms. I suppose you could say you could almost say they're almost a bladed weapon. If he could actually turn his arms, he'd actually be able to use them. But as you can see, he can't. They all come with a little sort of nice bit of face detail, which is probably one of their few saving graces, and some moulding detail on the inside of the arms. But like I say, you didn't buy these figures for their posability or their playability. He was again got his Decepticon logo in this side panel, and that's it. You know, there's no other sticker details on them, and only a few paint apps. And get into Sparkstalker, which is the most unusual out of the three of them, I think. Again, you get your Decepticon logo on the leg. With all of them, you get a little bit of sort of yellow for either their beaks or their, what you class them as, tusks for Sparkstalker. But yeah, they're pretty basic again. Transformation again is identical, so you just flip his tail around, sort his legs out, get his head back out of the way, and then he's got some kind of almost mechanical sort of wings, this guy, and again you just flip them around, and again they look like sort of bladed weapons on his arms, and again got individual face detail too, which is again pretty basic. But yeah, that's the firecons. Now what I will do is I will bring in the flamefeather I got from the last bootfair haul, which if I just move the other two out of the way from it, you'll get a good comparison between the two. Now of course this is the original G1, and of course this is the G2 version of him, which I picked up. Now again, differences between them is pretty obvious. It's mainly colour. As you can see, if I bring him in, they used a lot of clear coloured plastic on this guy. Not really much extra in the sense of any moulding details, exactly the same mould, just with recoloured. Obviously if you pick one of these guys up, he's got the G2 Decepticon logo, and obviously he's got added bonus of 2 stickers on his wings, which I don't believe the original had. He could have worn off, so don't hold me to that, that could be my mistake. But if I transform, again, exactly the same transformation obviously, because it's the same figure. Just fold those bits round, and there you get the G2 version. And again, pretty much the same, just with a different colour of the different plastics they used in G2 with their really jazzy colour schemes. So that's the G2 flamefeather next to the G1. Again, you know, neither of these figures are particularly any cop. I don't recommend anyone rushing out and buying any of the firecons unless you're a real G1 fan through and through. You're not going to really enjoy them. I do for the nostalgia side of things, because obviously I got these guys, other than this G2 one, when I was a kid, so I had the original set, but of course I had the Sparkbots as well, so they were kind of like a match off against the two. But yeah, they're okay, but you know, if you're going to pick these guys up, don't hold out hope that they're going to be anything fantastic, and also please don't pay over the odds for them. They're not worth more than a couple of quid each. I mean, I was really pleased to pick the G2 one up. He is a bit rarer. The G2 versions of the Sparkbots and the firecons are that little bit rarer, and I believe they only did 2 of each. Now I'm not sure which the other one, whether it was cindersaur or sparkstalker. I think it might have been cindersaur they did in the G2. I don't think Sparkstalker got a G2 colour scheme. So they are a little bit rarer to pick up, the G2 versions of both the Autobot and the Decepticon ones. So yeah, was really pleased to pick him up for £1, and in the end, by selling off the other bits what I picked up with him, was only worked out about 50p for me, so that's a real find for that. But these guys, you could probably pick them up off eBay for 99p. You probably won't get anyone else bid against you, but obviously you've got to pay a bit of postage. Conditions everything with them, because they've got some paint apps on them. Obviously that's the sort of thing where they'll, as well, you know, if it's a real minty one with the stickers like mine and the paint's good, they might go for a little bit more. And obviously it's nice if the spark still works. And actually, if I show you on the G2 one, I'll quickly change him back, which is a quick transformation, let's be honest. There's not a lot to do to him. The spark feature on this does work still, but it works much better. Now, in some respects, they should have had these three guys with clear plastic on the heads, because if I do it, it really shows up better. I don't know where it's showing up on the camera, but it does really show through the clear plastic of his head. But yeah, so that's a little review and another little look at the guy I picked up the other day of the G1 stroke G2 firecons. Hope you enjoyed this little look at some classic G1 figures. You can see where people say that G1s are like bricks and with no articulation. These are perfect examples of how bad, let's say, the designs could be, although they did have their little bit of charm and individual sort of like styling. Anyway, hope you've enjoyed the review. Please feel free to subscribe and comment, and I shall see you again for another Transformers review.